Hey everybody, surprise! It's an early edition of Janine and Amy's Travel TV Live. And we have an amazing reason why we're going live early today. We are super excited to introduce our friend Nitya Singhal from India. She is live in India, and so it's 9.5 hours difference. And she so graciously agreed to come here and talk to us about her beautiful country. So we're super excited to have her. So if you have any dream of going to India, or maybe you've been 5, 6, 7 times and can't wait to go back, you are in luck, because tonight it's all about India. And we know you want to travel again. We want to travel too. And until we can, we will bring you around the world to the most amazing destinations with our friends, right from your kitchen or your living room or wherever you happen to be sitting. So before we get started, I want to say hello to my co-host, Amy Coffin-Rylahan. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Janine. How are you lovely ladies today? That's awesome. It's so good to it's so good to see you, and thank you so much for joining us today. I know that I, for one, am super excited about this episode because I have not been to India yet. It is definitely on my travel bucket list for sure. So I can't wait to see and share it with all our friends and followers. So I do have one question for you. As soon as we are able to get back out into the world and start traveling, what is going to be your very first destination?
Well, for me, it's always India first and then somewhere in Europe. But the first place I would like to travel to is back to Jaisalmer in Rajasthan, which is very close to where I live, but it is beautifully mystic, gorgeous in every way. And even though it's the most barren and most empty scenery, it is a place that keeps pulling me back for many reasons. It's just hauntingly beautiful and has so much to offer despite all the sand everywhere you see.
Wow, that's amazing. And how far is that from where you live?
So it's a 10-hour journey by car.
Oh, wow.
Or, some people don't do well with cars, so they like to charter a plane, a small little plane that lands in the little airport there in the middle of all the sand. And that's maybe an hour off.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I want to go, Janine. Can we go now?
I know. After the show, we will be talking to Nitya about planning a trip.
Oh, absolutely.
So you sent us a ton of amazing pictures and gave us a quick top 10 things to keep in mind when you're traveling. And one made me laugh, and I have to ask about it. And it's carry your yoga pants. And I have to ask, is that because American women wear yoga pants everywhere, even though they shouldn't?
Well, in India, that's not really the national dress. The national dress is a sari, but yoga pants is a must-have because India is so beautiful, so picturesque, that you want to set down the mat at sunrise and at sunset and do your Surya Namaskars to the sun, to the beautiful scenery, the trees, the water, and it is just amazing. It takes your breath away that in the midst of so much population, we have so much serenity, so much peace, and so much ability to look within. So the yoga pants is the uniform to look within.
Got it. Sun salutations, Janine. Sun salutations.
Namaskar.
Namaste.
But it's not. But yoga pants are not every day to wear everywhere. So that's what it's become here. It's become leisure wear in the United States.
Yeah, that is strictly athleisure and strictly yoga, not to the workplace.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I'm going to jump right into all of the pictures that you sent, because you sent so many amazing pictures. And one thing you did mention to me, something like India is like 5 different countries. Mm-hmm. So as someone thinks about going to India, how do you decide? Is it if you're looking for a yoga experience, or you're interested in culinary, or how would you do that? And then you can tell us the stories about some of these places too.
So India resonates with different people very differently, but I know in the many years that I've been having people visit India, that it resonates with everybody at some level. I haven't had a single person who came to India and didn't change even a little bit. They take back a piece of India when they go. So I would recommend that, you go with what is your passion. So if you are hugely into spiritualism, I would highly recommend that you do Varanasi, which is a very ancient city, not very clean, but it is ancient. So it comes with its own set of issues, but some beauty that will never leave you. And, there is so much history there as well as spirituality that you can resonate with that. And we can do a 2 or 3 day thing, stay at 2 or 3 different spiritual places. Some maybe not spiritual, but great for yoga. So you can go to Ananda Resorts, which is in Rishikesh, which is gorgeous. And you can have a stay there by the water, do rafting in the day and yoga in the evening at sunset. Ooh. So that is one kind of experience that you can have in India. India is also most well known for its rajas and its palaces, be it Mysore, be it Rajasthan. The palaces are beautiful. They're breathtaking. They're ancient. They have beautiful art and antiquities. And they are amazing to visit when you cut the lines. So you don't have to do it, with 100 tourists. You can do it in your group of 10, 20, or 30 with us, which is fabulous. And some of the paintings look as if they, the pictures are going to walk out and come and give you a hug. So, it is, so for the art lover and for the historian, India has that to offer.
Mm-hmm. And so is this a palace? Is this one of the palaces that you were talking about?
This is a palace hotel. Strangely, this is a beautiful picture you chose. This is the Umaid Bhavan in Jodhpur, and it has a lovely story that goes along with it. This palace was built by the king. It was commissioned by the king because there was a famine and the farmers had no work and they had no food. So he built this as a philanthropic project to give livelihood to his subjects.
Wow.
And that aside, this is a jewel. Once you stay at the Umaid Bhavan, your stays at other hotels might feel lackluster because this is such a grand palace, and they put you on a golden platter and carry you around and spoil you such a lot that you never want to leave. It is the most mind-blowing, relaxing, but opulent experience you can imagine.
So is this inside? So you sent another picture. I'm wondering, is this inside?
No.
No.
Let's go back to the picture. Which one?
This one that's on.
It's still loading. It's still loading for me. So no, the picture that you were showing is of a place in Jodhpur. It's called the Miranda Fort. It was the original palace before the Umaid Bhavan, and it was a fort that never fell to any enemies. It was such a strong fort. And in fact, strangely, it's a beautiful thing to visit the Mehrangarh by night without the crowds and have the historian explain the story to you completely by yourselves with your friends. And then you enjoy a beautiful dinner just by yourself in this fort and you relive the history of the kings. And it is a mind-blowing experience. It is something second to me.
That's like that. So here's a group. So I know you'll plan group adventures for people and you plan events and weddings. And so tell us where this is and what this is about. And who's that really excited guy in the back?
The photos are loading slowly, so give me a second there.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries.
So it looks like it's in front of an ancient fort, and it's a big group of people.
Oh my God, it's just beautiful.
You know what? I'm going to take the solo off, and then we'll keep it so once you can see it, and we'll keep talking about. I know we have the internet is fabulous, but still, from 2 different countries, that it can be take a little longer.
No,
so tell us a little bit about
this is the Miranda Fort. It is the Miranda Fort in Jodhpur in the backdrop.
It's beautiful.
Oh
so
my
you
golly.
Is this a group that you planned, a group that you put a trip together for?
Yes, yes, it is a group that I put put the trip together for, and we've kept the faces a little obscure because we don't like the privacy of our friends to be disturbed. But when people arrive at the Mehrangarh, there are times that people are so overwhelmed. I've had a couple of people just sit down, in the galleys before they even enter because it is so mesmerizing and so overwhelming. And the welcome is with these Indian dancers dancing a folk dance at the entry and
Oh,
flowers
wow.
being thrown on you. It is
that it?
beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Can you see that picture?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I know, is this the same way? So I imagine that a lot of people who visit are interested in the music and the dancing, and what is a good way to experience that without it being sort of to have it be more authentic? What would be a good way?
So the thing I take, great, I think of this experience as something that is authentic, but not uncomfortable. Sometimes a very authentic experience might not appeal to another culture. So the folk dances, the songs, the people are very authentic, but the setting in which we do them are more comfortable than the natural setting in which these dances happen or this music happens, so that the people who are visiting are not perturbed by crowds or disturbed by other bystanders. So it is a very authentic experience.
That's amazing. Absolutely beautiful.
I have another really
And they
quick
pull you
picture.
in to dance with them. They teach you how to dance while they're dancing.
Oh, really?
Such love for what they believe in, really.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The fire, and look how beautiful that is. So we have I think we have some of your friends watching. Is it Red Half? Said we should not forget the beauty of the culture and music. How do you pronounce that? And it's a unique experience. So that's great. Thank you for watching. And if anyone has any questions, please just let us know. And so let me ask you, so you did include some pictures with some animal experiences, and that has become a little bit controversial. And how do you choose your suppliers? How do you choose who you work with to make sure that that's a good experience and that the animals are treated well? But I love oops, I just got rid of it. Sorry.
It's fairly simple, I go with the local people. So choosing people is never difficult when you choose people who share the passion that you have. I always choose local people and not people from, not companies that do this professionally, because that's where people are being, animals are being ill-treated. The people who are actually doing the work are not paid. So, my experiences have a philanthropic side to it, where the local artisans, the local tribesmen, the local folk people are hugely involved in the whole experience. So it is very authentic because they share a slice of their culture with you in the way that they live it. So there's nothing artificial or staged about it. So look at these animals. They dress them in tribal style. It's completely the way these animals are in the desert if you go on your own, just in a more comfortable setting.
It's just beautiful. The colors are amazing. Everybody, they're so vibrant and beautiful.
Yeah.
So when is a good time to visit? Because it's hot in the summer, very hot. And then there's a rainy season too, right? So when is a good time? When do you suggest people visit?
So the thing with India is it's beautiful all the time, to me at least. But, for the Western traveler, I would say October, middle of October to end of October, until the end of February. That is the window you have to travel. unless of course you want to do a winter experience, unless you want to go to a place like Kashmir, or you want to go to a place like Himachal, which is a more mountain trekking kind of experience. It's totally up to you, the kind of experience that you choose. If you want to do the Valley of Flowers or Rishikesh for that matter, the summer is a better time because the water is not frozen and it's not freezing cold and you're not ready to catch a chill and sort of reach the hospital. But if you want to do Rajasthan, which is really hot in the summer, the best time is mid-October to say end of Feb. And for most places in India, that would be the best window. Even if you want to do the beaches, if you want to do the wildlife experiences in the natural reserves and things, if you want to do good culinary experiences, the food, the vegetables, everything is very nice in the winter.
Yeah, that's why I thought, Janine, that's why she was telling us to wear yoga pants, because we were going to gain weight.
Yeah, 2 stomachs.
I really
two stomachs. I took the 2 stomachs idea is that you eat a lot, so you have to make sure that you have to.
You do, because you eat a huge heavy meal, and then you always have a second stomach for dessert, always.
So words to live by right there, my friend. So speaking of animal experiences, I know you included this. So is this a game reserve? And tell us what that's about. Like, how does that work?
So this is, in this place called Jawai. It is a leopard sighting area, and it is in the middle of a village. So the Jawai Bandh is a beautiful lake, and once you pass the lake, there is no jungle. It's village after village, and there's this little area where leopards have made their home. So you go after sunset, and you always see a family of leopards there. And these leopards are part of the living culture of the people in Jawai, because they come down and they take away their cattle and they eat it, and the villagers don't mind that at all. That's how they coexist. They don't mind the leopard coming in and carrying away their cattle, because they feel that is their right to eat some food. When you're cutting all the jungles, where is the leopard going to live? He's going to live amongst you. And the leopard is not shy of human beings.
Oh,
at least the Indian leopard isn't. He's as hospitable as the Indian man. So he walks in and picks his tastiest cattle, carries it back and feeds it to his young. And it's quite an experience to actually watch it happen.
Oh, I bet. And it's probably safer for the people too. If they have food to eat, then they won't be bothering the people, right? Mm-hmm. So if they find a way. So you mentioned the village. So and this is one of the villages that you recommend people visit, correct?
Pardon me?
This is one of the villages that you recommend people visit?
Yes, this is the Bishloi Village. A little snippet about this village. It's an ancient culture, 3,000 years old, and they still live the same way. And most of Rajasthan is full of Rajputs, who were the aristocracy, and most of the people in Rajasthan eat a lot of meat because of the temperature and things like that. This village is entirely vegetarian, and they do not kill any animals, and they do not eat any meat. So they are completely vegetarian, and they live in the same way as they used to live 3,000 years ago. There's no modernization here. They live one with nature, but they are very, very conscious of their environment, which the rest of humanity now after COVID-19 is getting there, but they've always been there. They've never sort of left their roots. And when you go here to visit this place, they take you for an interesting safari where you see black bucks and deer in large numbers because they're not being allowed to be killed. And you get to eat a meal and play games with them as games were played in, say, 1,000 years ago. And they play games with you, and they cook you a totally clean Indian village meal, and they feed it to you by hand.
Oh my gosh.
So it's fabulous.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would love that experience too, because I would really like to make that commit. I like the human connection.
Yeah.
And seeing how people live, and I find that really interesting. And so Karen writes that India has 8.1% of the world's biodiversity within its borders, and that's really interesting. I guess that's very diverse country with a lot of different. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's amazing.
Thanks, Karen, for sharing that. So this is also from that village, I think, and so tell us about this picture. So is it a craft work?
I'm still waiting for it to load, Janine.
Okay. We'll keep talking.
It's not loading.
Oh, it's not loading?
No.
You know what?
Oh, there it is.
I'll hide it. So I want to talk a little bit about you. You have other experiences, for example, polo. So I'm imagining that if you plan a trip to India, there's a lot of, you can have a lot of experience. You can maybe go see a cricket match, go to polo. And is there a lot of active adventures? Like if people wanted to hike and maybe raft or things like that, are those things available as well?
Completely. And, you know, I'm really into safety. So whatever we organize for people, it has the adventure without the risk. So we do a lot of, you know, experiences that are driven towards active adventures for people who like to do a lot.
Yeah. And to have that experience. So cricket is the national sport. Am I correct?
Of course.
So if someone was interested in seeing a cricket match, when would you go?
Well, when a cricket match is happening. Definitely not right now, but
I don't know what cricket season is, so that's why.
So cricket happens throughout the year in India. We have different matches. Of course, the IPL is very popular and internationally recognized. But we do have a lot of like test cricket and you know, one-day matches happening. And it's easy to schedule it because, you know at least 2 or 3 months in advance when the cricket schedule is going to come out and what's going to happen. So if there is a favorite player that you have, I would recommend we buy tickets around about, you know, the time that they're going to be playing. And we can have a nice box for people to just enjoy the cricket and, you know.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
With the cricketer.
And have a whole.
I would like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really neat experience.
Yeah.
So I know that one of the things that you specialize in is event planning and putting on like really amazing events for people. So there's a picture you shared that it's in the desert. It looks like. Can you see it?
Oh, 1 second. I don't know. Just give me a second. Yeah. Sorry, can't see it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is in Jaisalmer, the place I told you I would visit first.
I mean, wow. Yeah.
So this is beautifully done in the middle of the desert. You know, it's in the middle of nowhere. So there are no toilets. There is no electricity, which is why the little candles. And it is completely in the middle of nowhere. And we have great dining with the sunset. And we have these musicians, the local musicians called the Manganeers, who sing they sit on a little dune about 500 meters away from you. They sit in the heat on the dunes without a carpet, and they sing unplugged under the sky. And for a minute, your heart stops with the music. It is so beautiful. And you just feel one with nature, you feel one with their music, and you might not understand the words, but you can completely feel the emotion. It is mind-blowing, the way they do it. And the first time I heard it, it took my breath away, which is why I keep wanting to go back to Jaisalmer every now and then.
That's amazing.
So you did see some pictures, but they were a little bit too dark to show, and I wish I could have because they were really exceptional. And to get the feeling of what it must be like to be there in the dark, like real dark.
Oh, it's not beautiful. You know, you feel as if, you know, you want to hold hands with your friends and loved ones and just drink it in and never leave. It is just amazing. It starts getting a little bitterly cold after 9 o'clock in the desert. So you have to leave because your body starts giving up on you, but you don't want to. Your soul just doesn't want to leave. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So I wanted to show another picture of one of your events, just because I think it's gorgeous, and what a nice job. I mean, I really can imagine having that, walking into an event that looks like that is just, to me,
that's amazing.
Amazing.
This event was organized at the hotel by the name of Suryagarh in Jaisalmer, and this was created in conjunction with their staff and their director. He is a genius with creativity, and we put our minds together and we made it look Indian, but we gave it a feel of a sit down anywhere in Europe. And this is by a little lake, and we had a live band here. They were the Gypsy Kings, and they sang with the Manganeers. So there was like this, battle between the Western Gypsies and the Jaisalmer Gypsies. And the guests were, swinging and dancing the whole night. And we had a few other guests at the hotel, and they joined in too. It was so much fun.
That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, so before we end, walk us through, when somebody contacts you about a trip to India, how do you help them put it together? Like, what would be the ideal amount of time? You'd probably say a month if you could. But if you went, what is it? I mean, is 10 days, can you have a nice experience in 10 days, or is that too short? Or what do you think? And how do you help people narrow down where to go and what to do?
So it's completely up to the people, I mean, if you are an enthusiastic traveler and you don't mind traveling a lot, because as I said, India is experienced through car journeys where you stop at a wayside hotel and have an Indian meal, and you experience the culture, you talk to the people, you take the photographs, you enjoy the journey. So if you do it slow, depending on the number of people, the number of places you want to go, it could be anywhere from 10 days to 6 months, like, Karan is writing to us just now, that India is a place to come and live in. It's a beautiful country with people who are so hospitable. They never let you feel like a foreigner. They never let you feel like someone who's out of place, right?
Wow.
But an ideal holiday for a family or a group of friends, I would say would be between 10 days and 2 weeks. We can do something spectacular in that time. But I would recommend that people travel in groups of, say, 20 or 30 or even maybe 50 people if they really want to enjoy India. Because India is something you want to share with someone. You don't want to do it alone. It's no fun alone.
Well, and speaking of that, so the final picture I'll show is this one. People look like they're having an absolute blast. So tell us what that's about.
Gracious.
Dancing and having just a nice time.
This is a celebrity artist. His name is Mame Khan. He's one of my personal favorites. And he's a Rajasthani singer, Rajasthani folk singer. His origins are Manganeer. But he can make the party rock like someone completely on fire. Look at his clothes. They're on fire. And look at the people. They're on fire. That's because he lights the stage on fire. He makes the event just go off like a rocket into space. And people can't stop. He sang in the bitter cold for 6 hours straight because the people were enjoying so much. And live.
Wow.
No, nothing.
Oh my gosh, that's so much fun.
That's people having a crazy time in India. That was a group from Oman that had come. It was a Middle Eastern group. And they had so much fun, and they were so warm and loving. We became such good friends, before they left. It was a really nice number, 30 people. It was really, really an awesome experience with them.
Oh, that looks like it was so much fun.
That is amazing.
So my final question before we wrap it up. So nobody's traveling right now, but people will. We will be traveling again. How long does it actually take to plan a trip? Like, what is the lead time? When should people start to think about booking a trip if they want to go to India?
You'll be shocked at my answer, but at least 6 months in advance, because India, especially Rajasthan, Agra, all these places which people love, including Coorg, Andamans, Mysore, Hampi, you name any place, India gets booked up so quickly because, Indians love to travel too. So there's a huge number of domestic travelers apart from the people who come from abroad. So I would say at least 6 months. A very quickly planned trip would be 3 months in advance, but that's really cutting it short. 6 months is the bare minimum.
So if people took your advice to travel in October, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start thinking now about next October.
Yes,
right?
completely. Yeah, next October, or even end of February, I'm being very positive that
absolutely,
pandemic will blow over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We love your positive spirit. That's
absolutely.
So before you say goodbye, Nitya, tell us where we can find you. Tell everybody what your social media handles are, your website. Give us all that great information.
So you can write to me personally at nityasinghal@gmail.com. That's my email address, my personal email address. And I like to plan my groups myself, even though I have a lovely team who are as passionate as I am. But I like to give in my personal best. Look us up at Luxury Travel in India by Nitya Singhal. It has some of the stuff that we've done in the past. You can look up what we've done on Facebook as well. Again, my personal page, Nitya Singhal, as well as Luxury Travel in India. Please look us up. I'd love to see some of you in India. Amy and Janine, definitely the two of you sometime soon.
Yeah.
And I live in Udaipur, which is a part of Rajasthan, the city of lakes, Venice of the East. So I do hope to see some of you guys here with me. I'd love to share my passion and my love for India with you.
Oh my goodness. And it absolutely comes through to your beautiful country and your love for your country, and you want to share it with the world. So thank you very, very much. That's amazing. Janine and I'll be there. You can count on it.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. Really soon.
Absolutely. Oh my golly. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So next week.
All right. So next week, that's me. So next week, we're going to take everyone to Mexico and Jamaica next week with a very, very, very good friend of ours and a fantastic travel partner from Palace Resorts. And Susan is her name, and Susan's going to be sharing with us all the beauty and magnificent of luxury travel in Jamaica and in Mexico and what they have to offer. I got to personally experience their product earlier this year before we all got locked in with Tim. So it was great and fabulous. So hopefully you can join us. We'll be back at our normally scheduled time of 5:30 on Thursday afternoon. So Janine and I will post a reminder for everybody and just get on and join, and it'll be a great time. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah. And thanks again, Nitya. We appreciate you coming on, and everyone for stopping by. And we know we can't wait to get back out in the world and travel again. And better days are on the horizon. And until we do, keep dreaming about travel and finding joy at home. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Namaste.